This is where it gets serious. Khoa, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on Prosperity Point, mate.
What's up?
What's up? Thank you so much for making the time to come out and see us. Taking time out of your busy schedule as obviously a business owner as well is quite tricky. But and it was great catching up with you over the weekend as well for a quick brunch.
That was good food, wasn't it?
It was actually nice. I think it's one of your popular spots.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It was a halfway point to meet up, so why not?
That's just because you're so nice with time and allowing us to.
And I like to
meet
drive.
halfway.
So.
That's what I want to talk about first, actually. So talking about driving, what's your favorite car of all time?
I really like the prancing horse.
Mhm.
So any Ferrari. But then I'm a car lover, so
Yep.
I like any car that's nice.
Any car that's nice. Cool.
And it depends, yeah. Like even from the old school Torettos, the
Mhm.
86 Torettos to the Porsches, Ferraris, Lambos.
You know a Porsche that's caught my eye recently that's doing the rounds is the 911 Turbo S. That's been ripping almost everything from a 0 to 100 standpoint. And it's become the talk of the town now, I think, with all of the guys that I know that love cars. Because it's something that usually always flies under the radar, but Porsches are popular for that, right?
Uh-huh.
But what I've noticed is this specific model, the 911 Turbo S, the new one, it beats everything under the sun. It beats the Lambos, it beats the Ferraris, it beats the Teslas.
So the 992 911 Turbo S.
Yes.
That's a funny thing you might say, because
Mm.
as I was coming here,
Mm.
I drove past the Porsche dealer.
And you smashed him. Oh.
Yeah, I smashed them. I mean, like, I go, "Poof, they got nothing on me.
Yeah.
Or now I'm more mesmerized by what Porsche's done.
Yeah.
It's one of the. Who knows? I might buy one.
Yeah?
No, it's a dream.
Well, it's
Dreams can come true.
No, of course. Speaking of mesmerized, the whole reason we wanted to have you on here, and thanks once again for being here, is because your story is inspirational on so many different fronts. You know, I know we're going to dive deep into a few different levels of conversation, but talking a bit about your journey from the night that had happened 8 years ago, and how the bounce back story was so strong to where you are today and what the future holds for you is something that's inspiring not only to me but so many people that I've heard that have been speaking about you as well. And I know you had a run into our CEO and group founder as well a while back at a speaking engagement. That's how actually we ended up being connected, because he was inspired with your story over there, and I think eventually it was Mark that had reached out, had a conversation. We had a mutual client that we were helping out with, and then I got to know a bit more about your story, and I thought I have to have you on as a guest. So thank you so much for actually being here. I really mean it.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. And we live in a world where we're all connected now, and if we want to grow, we've got to connect more.
Yeah, right.
So we meet not as an accident. It's all on purpose.
Mm.
So we're sitting here, my book's right in the middle, being supported by something that no one can see.
Of course. and speaking about it as well, like let's look at even the title of the book, right? Legless to Legless. How did that title come up? Because when a lot of people see it at first glance, they go, legless to legless, okay, what's the real story behind something like this? Like, do you want to shed a bit of light for our viewers in terms of what's the backdrop story behind the title of the book, first of all?
Yeah, so legless to legless, it won't, people will question it because they go, what does this mean? And
Yep.
you see a visual picture of me lying there. It kind of gives a hint as to what it means, but the term legless, the first legless, might not be understood as much only until you dive into the book.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take you back to 2012.
Yep.
I was just like any other young kid. I don't know, you call 29-year-old young, I do. But
Oh, we still do. We have to call 40-year-olds young because they happen to be our clients. So we have to call everyone young. So it's okay. 29 is very young then.
yeah, so I was just having fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
my typical week would be gym, drink.
Mm.
And when I mean drink, I mean drink to the point where I'll vomit, to the point where I'll lose memory. And
Really?
that was my typical weekly session.
So like what we were talking about earlier, blackout or get out.
Yeah, blackout or get out.
Yeah, what's the point of
100%.
drinking if you're not going to go hard?
Exactly. So
Fantastic.
that was my mentality.
Yeah.
But I also loved training.
Mm.
So it was kind of, I saw it as a way to balance things out, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not drinking all the time, but I'm also trying to look after my health, where going mountain biking, going to the gym or whatnot.
Mhm.
But I did that to drink.
Yep.
Blackout or get out, as you say.
Yeah.
So it was just like every other normal day on December 9th,
Mm-hmm.
getting ready to go to a new club. I've never been to this club, so
Mm-hmm.
I wake up in the morning, you know, all hyped up. If I remember correctly, a couple of days before I would have had a drinking session. So it's a normal day, normal weekend.
Yep.
So I wake up, get ready, looking forward to the night, and as night approached, we went to the club. Friends, everything was as it should.
Mm.
I'm living to the moment, living at the moment.
Yep.
Drinks started to come on the table. I'll drink whatever was on the table.
Sure. So you're
Yeah.
a bit like what I used to be like as well. Just drink anything.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever's in front of my face,
Yeah.
it will go into my stomach.
Yep.
And I'll dance. Not that I can dance, but you know, when there's a little bit of alcohol involved, you think
We'll
you're
become decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you think you're the next American top dancer or whatever the show was called.
Yeah.
And one after the other. I woke up 3 weeks later. I woke up not knowing where I was, but all I remembered was I saw my mother and brother there, and they were smiling, or they were, I guess they were just happy to see my eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know what was going on. All I knew, I was in a bed in a white room, white ceiling, and a thin blanket, and it slowly fell off right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing was, I told my mum to take my socks off.
Yeah.
But she looked at me. Wow. You don't have legs. But you see, I still felt like I had my legs. I still felt I had my socks, my shoes on.
Wow.
But when I looked at the end of the bed, there was a sudden drop off
Mm-hmm.
of the sheet. But I was still calm about it.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it was all the drugs that I induced during that induced coma.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I woke up on Boxing Day too.
Yep.
So I guess that's a present for my family.
Present for the world at this stage.
Yeah. But I was fine with it.
But that is
I was fine with it at that moment.
that's insane. Imagine, so we just backtracking a little bit here. We're at the club, we're having a good time, and then the next thing we have consciousness or memory of is that bed, waking up on that bed and
Yeah.
seeing mum and brother. And
So I had a missing section of my life.
yeah.
That time when I got blind drunk
Mm-hmm.
to the time I woke up on Boxing Day.
Yep.
So in between that time, it's a blank canvas, and I've kind of filled that up.
Yep.
It's not that I want to remember everything.
Yep.
I believe it's a good thing that I don't remember what had happened. Everything happens for a reason, as I see it, and it was a shock. Only a couple of days later.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, I was coming off the medication, the pain medication,
Mm-hmm.
and when I gathered the story of what had happened, I was involved in a car accident.
Yep.
155 kilometers into a telegraph pole.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, it was. I was the very fortunate one in an unfortunate scenario.
Mm-hmm.
The front passenger, she died.
Yep.
And the driver, my mate, he suffered severe head injuries. He got flown to Royal North Shore, and I got flown to Westmead,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where they did the life-saving surgery.
Yep.
And where I woke up, but I was still in that phase where everything was all normal. I clearly remembered that I could walk,
Yeah.
and I told the doctor that who was looking after me. I said, "Hey, can I go home?
Mm-hmm.
Take a taxi, go home. I'll come back." But he looked at me and said, "You can't walk." Yeah, I go, "No, I clearly remember. I clearly remembered jumping off a bed, caught a taxi, went home, and I came back, and I'll be back."
Yep.
They go, "No, you can't walk." But I was still in my reality.
Yeah. So was that because you think maybe there was a level of shock that was involved, where coming to terms with the reality that you're used to, and let's say now at the snap of a finger, you've got a completely new world at your feet, or let's say at where your feet used to be. That was pretty smart. I just came up with that, by the way. I didn't plan that.
Gotcha.
So coming to this reality, is that where you had this idea where you wanted to try and merge what had happened from the past versus what you still wanted to accomplish? Because if you could say, "I'll get up, just grab a cab and I'll be back," and then you were met with saying, "Here's the reality, you can't do all those things, you can't walk," how did you come to terms with actually realizing that in the new physical reality we're in, we can't walk the way we used to before?
Yes, I was in my reality.
Yeah.
And I was still optimistic about it. I go, "No, I can walk. I'm not going to listen to this doctor." But it was only until I was in ICU a couple of days later. I was still in ICU, but I moved.
Mm-hmm.
That I wanted to use the bathroom. But bear in mind, I'm all hooked up with wall, catheter tubes,
Right.
Intravenous lines. But I still needed to go to the toilet. That's what I told myself.
Yep.
The nurses weren't in the room, and the bed was raised, and the bar on the side was dropped down. So I got, what, I'm going to use a toilet. So I shuffled to the side of the raised bed, and
Oh my goodness.
I was literally on the ground. And that's when the nurses ran in.
Yep.
And they said, "What are you doing?" I wanted to use the bathroom.
Yep.
And they go, "You can't." And that's when I realized, I think I know that now.
Yeah.
And that's where they helped me put me back onto the bed.
Yeah.
At that moment, that was when reality did hit.
Yeah, the physical reality.
The physical reality. So what I thought when I woke up, I realized that was all my imagination. And when I attempted to walk,
Mm-hmm.
I failed miserably. I fell off a raised bed,
Mm.
and that was a big shock. That made me come crashing down.
Yeah.
Come crashing down to reality. I didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
I did think back. Why? Why me? I did go into that depressive state,
Mm-hmm.
starting to think I'm useless. No one's gonna love me. What can I do now? I dragged myself down to that state,
Mm-hmm.
but it was only I that could pick myself back up and get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Crawl out of that dark hole. But the question was, when will I do that?
Yep.
Typically, you could stay in your dark hole until you feel it's ready. And people on the outside, they won't question it. In my case, because they can visually see I've lost my legs, people won't question, oh, why is this guy so sad?
Yep.
No, they can see why I'm so sad. If I choose that route. But I didn't choose that narrative for my life. I chose to pick myself back up only a couple of days while I was doing the ICU, recollecting my thoughts. I go, why do I have to hold myself into that negative state where I could look forward to doing what I could possibly do?
Mm-hmm.
So I whacked out the iPad.
Yep.
And started searching for legs. I didn't know what I was searching for.
Yeah, right.
But I just write legs, robot legs, and you see Terminator T800. You go,
Oh
this
my
is it.
goodness! Yeah,
this is it.
absolutely.
But this is the whole world of prosthetics. Is amputee was totally new to me, so
Yep.
I did not know what to search for.
And how was the tech back in 2012?
But, it was good. I'm thankful that technology advances really fast at a fast pace.
Yep.
So I did not know what I was looking at, but all I knew was I'm gonna have mad robot legs
Yeah.
and a mad carbon fiber a socket that will fit around my leg.
Yep.
And that was my visual. That was something to drive me to get out of bed and start walking, just to show off my metal,
Yeah. The real metal.
the real metal.
Yeah. Fantastic.
But as we know, when we think at that moment, it's not what it is ahead. In saying that, I did feel conscious of my body.
Mm-hmm.
I felt conscious of people looking at me. I felt conscious of people talking about me.
Yep.
When I got home, after I got discharged, I wanted to stay at home.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go out. So I bought home gym equipment just to train.
Mm-hmm.
I try to train as much, get back to my routine of being fit. I was able with no legs, so I just did what I could.
Yep.
So it was,
And initially, without getting the tech legs come in as well.
yeah,
Let's say you had to. Was it mainly just wheelchair bound
it was
for that time?
That's correct. It was wheelchair bound, and I was very conscious. It was more of a physical appearance, what people would look at me.
Yeah.
And being not independent,
Mm-hmm.
having someone to look after me, pushing me. I didn't want the world to see me like that.
Yeah.
But you know, kids,
Mm-hmm.
they're very unfiltered, aren't they?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. So what happened was, I was at the shops getting wheeled around, and this little kid came up. What happened? Pointing.
Point blank.
Point blank.
Just
Yeah,
straight away.
they
What
came up.
happened?
I'm
Was this at the
amazed,
park or-
No, this was at the shops.
At the shops.
This is at
Okay.
the shops.
And how soon after the actual event?
This was probably around at least 6 months after.
So 6 months after. So
Yeah,
you'd already
6
come to terms with it.
Yeah, 6 months after being discharged.
Yep.
Trying to get my life back on track. This little kid
Mm.
comes into my life and opens my eyes, opens my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because after he said that, his mum came, oh, sorry, like thinking it's rude. I'm going, no, it's fine. He's curious.
Yeah. It's like the innocence of a child,
Yeah.
right? It's quite pure. It might be blunt, but at least it's pure, coming from a pure place.
It was totally pure. it's not being corrupted by the surroundings. So they say what they want to say.
But do you feel an element of us viewing it as pure, or you at that time viewing it as pure, is also to the fact that you yourself view things in a pure light? What if you were a better person? Would you have viewed it the same way? I feel it's a testament to how you are as a person as well, that you viewed it in a pure state despite what negative connotations there might be around surrounding things like this.
Yeah, I viewed it. I viewed it in a really, really positive state, because it opened my mind into thinking, wait a minute, if this kid can come up and say straight up what happened, start pointing, why should I have to worry about what older people have to say? Even though I had all these eyes going past me, like, or it's not of, I think it's disgust, but it's probably more curiosity. How come this guy's got no legs? And it kind of throws you off, you know, if you get a lot of eyes looking at you.
Yeah.
But this little kid made me change that perception. It's like, I don't need to care about what anyone thinks. I just got to be me.
Yep.
And that's the beauty about being me. I didn't lose myself prior to the accident. I was always this joyful, happy, positive guy.
Yeah.
This time, I've cut the alcohol.
My man.
Yeah. I cut the alcohol and I got no legs, but I'm still happy.
That's right. I mean, see, you know, the fact that this is what we were talking about earlier as well, right? You're always the same happy-go, lucky person. You had your big grin on your face, I know, all the time. And if someone was to think of what's Khoa like, the first thing that would come to my mind is happy, energetic, and he's uplifting to be around with. That's what would come to my mind. And I think it would be the same for the other guys in the office as well. But if that's what you were like before, and that's what you're like even after the event, I think it goes to show that there is a hidden ingredient when you hit that level of adversity to be able to bounce back, not eventually, but the unique trait I feel you had was bouncing back as fast as you did, instead of waiting for it to take a toll on you for maybe 2 years or 4 years or 5 years. Because imagine living 29 years of your life thinking that this is how life's always going to be, you know, having fun, drinking, doing whatever it is, what usual 29-year-olds do, or most 29-year-olds. And then you've got a situation where, okay, reality's different, but I'm not going to be upset, you know, for more than a year or more than 6 years. How did that happen where you bounce back so quick? Because I feel that's something that's an amazing quality to have.
Yeah, so it's perfect example of like the Dogecoin.
Dogecoin?
Yeah, it's shooting up.
Okay.
So,
What's the example there?
So it's not a gradual increase. It is actually skyrocketing.
Yes.
That's how I feel with myself. I learned to accept quickly. I learned to not focus on the past. I learned to look forward. I learned to accept that now is reality. And I learned that if I was to hold my thoughts about should have, could have, would have, should I went to the club, should I drank, all
right.
past tense, I'll still be in the past.
Yeah.
I won't be here having a chit chat with you. I won't be driving. There are a lot of stuff that I won't be doing if I kept myself back in that state of mind, the past.
Yeah.
I chose to, alright, so it happened now. I gotta accept it and look forward to endless possibilities. That's what I said when I laid on the hospital bed, popped out the iPad and started searching for legs.
Straight away.
Because I had that mindset, alright, I'm gonna start walking again.
Yep.
And I'm gonna make myself look the part
Yeah.
of the new AI.
And looking the part, I must give it to you, Khoa. You 110% do look the part. The legs look freaking amazing. Legs look amazing. Your attitude's always been amazing, I'm assuming. But I feel you've catapulted where, you know, coming out with things like the book, speaking and inspiring people that are in tough spots. before I get into another thing, which is I wanted to show the audience as well something really fun, which was the actual legs. I've got a little magic trick for you. Would you mind putting your hand out like this?
Yeah.
All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap my finger, and in a second we're going to have a little thing pop up for us as a treat.
All right.
Cool.
Sweet.
What in the world?
Whoa.
How did you get 3 and I only got 1? This is not fair. Whoever did this, but anyway, this is our treat. You are special, of course.
Wait. Can I test something?
You want to give the crowd an ASMR experience?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This is nice chocolate. Yeah. It's very nice. I'll eat it later.
Well, you got some reserves now, so you can definitely eat it later. But yeah, this is for us to nibble on in a bit. But what I wanted to talk about was, I actually completely forgot what I was saying. But that being said, we have to talk about the chocolates, yes, and the legs as well. They look freaking awesome. And we were having a bit of a talk about this as well. If you were to give someone a fist bump, what's your preferred method of giving them a fist bump?
Ah.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. So this is our predominant leg.
Yes, this is my predominant leg.
And if you were to tell us a bit about it, what's the best way to describe this leg? Because I know it comes with an Adidas sneaker, but that's your choice there, right?
And the good thing is, I don't need to change my socks.
Oh,
and,
fantastic.
And my feet don't stink.
Your feet will never stink.
One extra thing.
Yep.
I'm taller than before.
What? How many inches did you add?
I was at once 10 centimeters taller than I was, my original height.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm 6 centimeters
Taller?
taller.
Fantastic. I mean, a lot of people would pay a lot for it.
I know. Hey, you know when the saying when you get old you go shorter.
Yeah.
Not in my case.
Not in your case. In fact, I mean, we could have an upgrade in here where we do a little shift and pump it up.
100%.
So we could get you 6'5" as well.
Yeah, we can, but then I've got to change some stuff then. I don't know if I want to be that high, but maybe one day.
No, why I'm saying it is because then you can walk around really being like full-fledged Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger going around. And then if someone decides to be annoying with you, you just go whack, whack, bang, 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 bang. Say hello to my little big friend. Bang, bang, bang.
Hey, the good thing about
this is heavy-duty stuff.
The next Terminator movie, if there is anything, they don't need CGI. They can just hire me.
Absolutely, they can. Of course, that's freaking amazing. And I know there's you've got a situation where you can plug the legs in, you can walk now, which you have. We've been walking all around. How many years have you been walking for? Like, how many years have you had the legs for now?
I've had the legs for over 6 years.
Over 6 years.
6 years, yes.
And
so, in telling that, I'll take you back. I was in the world of amputees. I didn't realise that it was hard to walk.
Mm-hmm.
And my first time doing the rehab, I was wearing a socket. Yep, this is the way to go. Socket, carbon, as I mentioned, carbon fiber socket. It's gonna look cool. I'm gonna show it off.
Yep.
But once I started doing the rehab phase, learning how to walk in, it was slightly difficult. I had blisters. I had pressure sores because there's a foreign object around your stump.
Yep.
And I thought, all right, this is how it will be. You know, I'll adapt to it. But my skin kept breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
So and when it break down, it means that I couldn't wear my legs. So I had to be in my wheelchair for a couple of weeks.
Oh my goodness.
So that wasn't ideal.
Yep.
So I had to look at another alternative. And I remembered that my prosthetist mentioned about this surgery called osseointegration.
Mm-hmm.
Where they implant a titanium rod into your bone.
Mm-hmm.
So that takes away the socket.
Right.
The need of a socket.
Yep.
Basically, I can connect the leg that you see there.
Yep.
Straight onto the rod that's sticking out of my skin.
Yep.
So I had to inquire about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, long story short, I got approved. Went for surgery in 2014.
Yep.
Never looked back.
Fantastic. And have the legs had any model upgrades or any software upgrades?
Yes. I had upgraded legs.
Fantastic.
I had, I damaged the legs.
Yeah? How did you damage them? Obviously not drinking.
Nope. Have you ever went to Hawaii?
Yes.
Do you know Waikiki?
No.
Okay, Waikiki is the main center of Honolulu.
Mm-hmm.
right? Where
I've heard of the Waikiki
Yeah.
Resort and the
yeah, so
and
that's where the main attraction is, or the tourist area, right?
Yep.
And there's this Diamond Head crater.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tourist where people can walk up the mountain and all that, and to see the site of Hawaii, Honolulu. And you
Yep.
can see like a beautiful view, and you can see the nice turquoise blue
Yep.
ocean.
Yep.
Well, I did that. I climbed up Diamond Head Mountain,
Mm-hmm.
Diamond Head Crater. Sorry.
Yep.
It's all in the book, but
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
But you climb them
I-
with like how was it with legs, or did you have to do it with arms, or
I climbed
Assistance?
it with my legs.
yeah?
I climbed
Wow.
it with I drove there.
Mm-hmm.
I parked there. I spoke to the boom gate lady, and she said, "Oh, this is not a disabled friendly environment."
Oh,
Okay, then let me go in anyway. So I didn't have to pay for $5. Score.
great. That's
Because she thought I was going to use it. Little did she know.
that you've got a heart of gold.
So you know what?
Yeah.
This is my last day here in Hawaii. Might as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the very last day on a Sunday. I was going to fly back on a Monday morning.
Yep.
That I tackled Diamond Head Crater, and it took me a good couple hours. And I had people in awe.
Mm-hmm.
I had people giving me positive messages.
Wow. While
And
they were walking up with you.
while they were walking back down, and then I had I met someone who was a publisher of
Wow.
a magazine over in Hawaii and in America, and he followed me through my journey, and I did an interview with him too.
Yep.
For his magazine,
Mhm.
Wasabi magazine over in Hawaii. So
Wonderful.
he followed my journey, and we're good friends now.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I reached to the top, took mad pictures.
Mm-hmm. I know you're a camera fan. You
Yeah.
love your cameras.
I love my
You've been
camera.
telling us about it
Oh,
for like
it's
half
funny
an hour.
because like you want to try minimize what you're carrying throughout that walk. So I had my small cameras, a little small bag, and a little water bottle which I smashed
Yeah.
because oh my goodness, it was torture yet rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
When I flew home, as soon as I got home I left on a Monday. I got home on a Wednesday. I think time difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I got home, my legs stopped working. My legs literally died when I got home.
Like stopped working in the
As
sense?
in the electronics
Oh,
malfunctioned.
wow.
Now, imagine if it malfunctioned when I was on the top of the mountain.
Oh my goodness.
I think I'll be doing a Zoom call right now. I'll have a long beard. I'll be like
Still there.
the Tom Hanks movie.
Castaway.
Castaway.
Yeah.
I'm
Wilson!
my own Wilson.
Wilson! Awesome.
Oh, it was an amazing experience, and
Yeah.
I did push technology to its limits.
No, I can imagine. And that's just comes from personality as well. You know, the fact that you're going to still do whatever it takes. I feel having the whatever it takes mentality is important.
Yeah.
And applying it to different facets in life. So do you feel like the event, see, we know that whatever would have happened 8 years ago, we know that it's tragic and everything, yes, but everything that's come from it now and today. We look at what you've done. You know, we've got, let's say, an Amazon bestseller book. We've inspired kids, not only kids, but professionals, people that are older than you, younger than you. We're a gym owner as well, which I want to talk a little bit about, which is an awesome gig to have, I personally feel. So I'll ask you a few questions specifically on that. But what do you feel is something that's the best thing that's come out of the adversity that happened in the beginning?
Making people smile.
Yeah.
I think I've been given a gift. I had to experience my adverse conditions
Mm-hmm.
to find that and to share it to the world. That's why I got the book out. That's why I'm speaking.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm being on television, being on the radio, getting my face out there to
Yep.
share my story, to inspire others, to inspire millions.
And I know you're not one of those dodgy guys that goes out there to share your story to the millions so that you can sell the millions. You're actually so upfront and honest, saying, hey, look, here's my story. I want to help purely for the sake of helping. Because if I can help you get out of a tough spot, this is what my takeaway was having the brunch with you the other day, is that you want to help people not just for the sake of doing something where it's, yes, there's an inspirational story and then we milk it for something like profit, but you genuinely care about putting that smile on people's face. And I feel people sense it around you, man.
Yes, that's correct. So my whole intention was not to sell products. Sell
Apart from the
courses.
bestseller book.
Yeah, apart from the bestseller book. Buy it now.
Buy right now here. This is not sponsored by the book whatsoever.
Yeah, but I genuinely want to get my story out.
Yeah.
To help people who feel like they've been stuck in that dark hole for a while, and to pick themselves back up.
Yeah.
To learn what I've learned through my journey. Accepting quickly,
Mm-hmm.
forgiving easily,
Mm-hmm.
and be physically fit. Those are the three main points that I've taken away throughout my journey.
Great. So I need to learn be physically fit ASAP from you now. Then.
Yeah.
Good. Fantastic.
Hey, if you train with me, we don't do legs.
Yes. That's my favorite part. I skip. Actually, you know, sad legs are the best part of my body. I've actually got great quads. I'll show you later. I'm kidding. So
It's PG show, right?
well, actually, we realized that when we were initially putting things up on YouTube, that our channel happened to be a kids only channel, or like a kids supported channel. So apparently it wasn't getting enough views where it was being shared around, until a client came up and said, hey, take your channel off kids friendly and make it open to everyone. So I'm sure we can have a few, giggles on here that are not only PG, but I think we'll leave it at M, not MA15.
Not R-rated for sure.
Probably not R-rated. I mean, we already did R-rated. We took the leg out and shot at the camera.
Oh,
That's very R-rated.
Yeah.
Scarface was R-rated. Right? But going back to it, I wanted to share one thing that I feel your story and just how awesome you are as a person, it made me bite one of my own excuses when I come to think of it now that you mentioned those things. I'll share what I'm talking about. When we caught up for brunch on Sunday, I hit the bed at 4:30 a.m. that day from the night before.
Yep.
And when I was thinking, okay, cool, maybe Khoa will be nice enough to reschedule and push our brunch to maybe a lunch or something, and something small struck my brain going, look, we're all business owners. I'm a business owner, you're a business owner. We've all got busy schedules, and making excuses is something that people almost take for granted, like they make them all the time. And one thought that I had was, in a way that you can inspire people, is in a general way saying that if Khoa can do it, what's stopping me? You know, if some excuse is going to stop me from, whether it's a sleeping in issue, whether it's putting the effort, you know, I feel you can inspire people on a bigger scale than just meets the eye. With the physical fitness, yes, that's because you put in the hard work, right? You go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've even seen training videos of you pumping out some back or some arms. But I feel even
Just
on
not legs.
I'm pretty sure it's not legs, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you technically put a good software update on that thing, you could beat Ronnie Coleman's leg press as well, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic, that's good. But I feel there's so many hidden ways that you can inspire people. If people see you out and about, it's a gentle reminder to people themselves to say, what have I taken for granted in my life? Because let's say the event didn't happen whatsoever, would being an upcoming property investor, gym owner, and author, would that have been in the dialogue whatsoever, do you think? Or do you think eventually would have been, but not in the pace that it was already for you now?
That most likely that wouldn't been in the dialogue, in my current dialogue. If I was to go back in time and not do what I did,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't not do what I did. I mean, I wouldn't change.
So you wouldn't change anything.
I wouldn't
really.
change narrative because everything happens for a reason. But if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be leading this line of life. I wouldn't be having a book. I'll still be partying, which is fine.
It's not that it's wrong, but I mean,
which is
you like
fine.
you'd still be like the happy Khoa that everyone
Yeah.
loves, personality-wise.
That's correct.
But from the way you can inspire people now to be a better version of themselves, whether it's people going through something physically, I'm sure you'd have spoken with people that have had physical ailments. I'm sure you've spoken with people that have had mental ailments. Because sometimes if you've see, it's different. What I feel is it's different if you've been all your life without legs, for example.
Yep.
And we were talking about this because you had 29 years where you had legs.
Yes.
And then if it changes, that's where I feel your ability to bounce back is what's important. So I feel you're inspiring people that face challenges on ongoing life, because my philosophy is everyone almost has a similar level of problems, but you just don't get to see it. Everyone's fighting their own internal battles. Is that how you view the people around you as well, or do you view it as different challenges need different mentalities?
I believe it's all up to us. It all starts with us, yourself,
Mm-hmm.
to tackle your own demons. Like, that's the beauty about humans in general. We're all uniquely wired to be different.
Mm-hmm.
How we tackle our problems will be different from how I tackle my problems, how you tackle your problems, how anyone tackles their problems. But by sharing how I tackled my problems, that plants a seed into you, into the next Karen or whoever.
Karen, the soccer mum who's 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Sorry, Karen.
Sorry, Karen. I mean, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
not sorry.
Yeah.
that plants a seed, and that seed can grow and help them in a way where they'll step back and remember, I've read this book. I've seen this guy sharing his story on this podcast, on this TV show, on this radio station.
Yeah.
What's my excuse?
Yeah.
Why am I holding myself back? And that seed will grow.
Yeah.
To alter their decision making.
Yep.
For the better.
Yep.
That's how I see it.
Definitely. But it doesn't mean that everyone has to go legless from the old sense in order to get somewhere. Definitely they can do it without the drinking part.
Yep, I went the hard yard, so leave that to me, guys.
Yes.
And
learn from it.
And learn from it, exactly.
Yes.
Learn from
Yep.
my journey. It's not a mistake, it's
Yep.
a journey. It's my journey.
Yep.
It's taught me lots of valuable things throughout life. I've met incredible people who inspired me. In return, I've inspired others inadvertently, just by being me. For example, when you were talking about if people see me and they go, what is my excuse? That's what I do in the gym. I present myself that way, where just yesterday I was cleaning.
At the gym?
I was cleaning at the gym.
Yep.
But I'm not the boss who goes, hey, you do this, you do that, while I'm sitting back relaxing watching my fish tank. Oh yeah, I've got a fish tank.
And you love your fish,
Yeah.
and you love your koi fish
Yeah,
too.
I love my koi fish.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, one of our marketing professionals on the team is wearing koi fish socks today.
Oh, awesome.
So I will show you them, and
Can
then
we
maybe you can just swap them, like literally put them on your shoe, because your pair's fresh. So you can swap the koi fish
Fresh
ones.
24/7.
We'll have to convince them. Maybe we'll give them back all these lollies they dumped on us. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, back to the story. So at the gym, you're speaking to people, and you're not one of those bosses that does the active, inactive orders. You do the active orders, probably.
Lead by example. It's like a general in an army. You're fighting your battles. You're fighting your battles with your crew.
Yep.
You're not sitting in the sidelines giving orders.
Yep.
And that's how I implement my nature into the gym, and visually, out of people's peripheral vision, they could see that I'm putting the hard work to make my gym what it is today. A gym where people love to come.
Fantastic.
And again, that shows that what's my excuse. Perfect example. What's my excuse not to put away the weights?
Like the nitty gritties inside the gym.
Nitty-gritties. Not.
Yeah.
I don't go, hey, you put it back or you get a fine.
Yeah.
I'm also, hey, I'm a kind boss. I'm a kind person.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, if you use that weight, could you put it back now?
But I feel even if you say it too nicely, they'll think you're being so sarcastic that you're about to beat them over the head with maybe one of the legs. Just pull out the gun and just go bang.
Oh well, I get like veins popping out here.
Oh,
you know,
no.
And I'll go, could you put it back? So maybe that's a hint. You might see little veins popping, pulsating.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't tell them off.
not too much. Like
Not
I mean, but see, going back to just being a business owner. See, the idea of prosperity points about the point of prosperity, right? Prosperity point. So it's about, yes, if there's a challenge, here's how you can overcome. It's more of a philosophy as opposed to saying this is what should be done. That's what should be done. So what I like the fact is that even if, because I help people doing, let's say, property portfolios, building a successful portfolio of property so that you can retire on, for example, passive income, so that you have more time to do what you want to do with your passion as opposed to having to work for a paycheck. So being a business owner is similar to being a property investor, because if done correctly, it's all about your balance sheets, profits and losses. But what's the number one thing you love the most about being a business owner in 2021?
The number one thing I love being a business owner. Well, I feel like it's not a business in my sense, in my realm of the gym. Yes, it is for profit and loss, but I don't drag myself there because I need to be there. I drag myself there because I want to be there.
Awesome.
It's about the engagement, it's about the social creation that I instill in the gym, and then it flows onto my staff and it flows onto the members where they like to come and love to train, and they know that there's that environment there at the gym that makes them want to go there. It's not only for the physical, but it's also for the social connection, the mental side of things, where they want to get out of they just finished their work, 9 to 5 work, and they just need to socialize.
And what I've noticed is that the environment at a gym, as opposed to the environment at a home gym or the COVID work from home gym, is so much more different. People are at the gym, number one, I think, for the mental reasons. Mentally, to get out and about, do something, train in an environment where the energy is different as well. Do you feel that's why people come to the gym as opposed to the bodybuilders that have to? But even people that just want to be fit and healthy, right? They still like the environment of the gym, which is why I feel it's not going to go anywhere as a business in the next 20 years.
Yes, I believe so, because there's a difference when you're training at home, training by yourself. You don't have that element of the people around you, that social side of things, where you could go up to the person and talk, have a laugh.
Yeah, like, how can I get that bicep?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, mate, you gotta work hard.
Yeah, you stick a little bit of this in there. Okay. See, that's a cop-out thing as well. People see people doing well, and they go, oh, he must have done something. Oh, he must have taken some supplements that I didn't take. Or his diet's probably done by an engineer, for example.
Yeah, and it helps people trade ideas in a sense, and give them ideas in order for them to improve. As I said, not everyone wants to be the next bodybuilder, but all it is just to be fit and healthy.
Ronnie Coleman used to say,
yeah,
everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but nobody want to lift no heavy ass weight.
You've got the voice on too. Yeah. Lightweight, baby.
Lightweight, baby.
Oh,
Let's do it. Yeah, buddy. Sounds like him, right? Sounds like he was here. I trained a lot for that. But see, if I trained at the gym as much as I trained on that, I'd be fit, but I'm not.
Hey, you got that, now you just got to match it with the body.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Only give me about 25 years and I'll get there.
Time is not an issue. I've saw this lady on Facebook. She's 70. She's 91 years old. She's a personal trainer, a Japanese woman. 91. 91, and
wow.
She's fit as a fiddle.
That's crazy.
Yep, and she's a personal trainer, and she's still running rings around people who sit on the couches eating potato chips.
So what is everyone's excuse then?
Yep, exactly.
And speaking about the gym as well, just going back to this point, what's the worst part about being a gym owner?
The worst part about being a gym owner, they say it's the smell.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah, but...
because we were talking about it on the phone.
But my nose is desensitized. So I can't smell anything. It smells beautiful to me. But when new people come in, they go, oh, this gym stinks.
How big's your aquarium in the gym?
Oh, it's a 4 foot.
Okay.
4-foot tank with cichlids, warm water. I had a power outage yesterday, so I was very concerned for my fish, because
Not for the members of the gym.
no, not for the members. They could wait. Their games could come later.
Their games could come later.
My fish, they need that warm water.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too sure when the electricity was going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, it came back in a couple of hours, but that's something I don't want to lose. I've taken care of it, and it holds me accountable, because I bring that aquarium in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's up to me to give the fish their best life.
Yep.
In a confined space.
To the best of their life
To the
that they
best
could
of
live.
their life,
Yeah.
And that kind of helps me align myself
Mm.
to give myself responsibility to look after someone's life.
Yeah.
Fishes.
And I know you've got a pond at home, I think, is it?
Yeah, I got a pond at home.
Is
So
it it's filled with koi.
yep, koi.
Fantastic. And koi, I know we were sharing some stories about koi as well. Some of them can grow massive depending on the size of their environment.
Yes.
So then is that just a microcosm for thinking that if you expanded your mental environment, you can be the biggest version of yourself?
100%.
There you go.
That bubble, if you stay in that bubble,
Mm.
if you stay in that, your group of friends, you're in that bubble.
Mm.
But if you expand that, your bubble grows bigger. You want, at the end, you want to burst that bubble to be bigger than you are. And to be bigger than you are, you could be the voice.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, be the voice to inspire other people. That's the beauty about technology.
Mm.
We're so interconnected at the snap of our fingers on our mobile phones. Log in.
Yep.
Facebook. You can connect to anyone, and you don't need to send a snail mail like 20 years ago, right?
Mm.
Remember pen pals back then?
Pen pals were crazy.
Yeah, pen pals were good. I was waiting a couple of weeks just to get a cool,
ping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a message. Oh, this is mad. Then I'll get a pen and paper, write it again, and
Yeah.
send it off again. That's a lost art. I'm sure that it's still around, but these days people send an email, bang.
Yeah, of course. I mean, emails, texts. It's overtaken everything. But I think people still enjoy that old school touch. You know, when
Yeah.
there's a handwritten note.
Now I look forward to the mailbox.
Mm.
I don't
The real mailbox.
Yeah, the real
Because before that
mailbox.
used to be full of junk.
Yep.
And then your email's all the important stuff. It's the other way now.
It's the other way around.
Mm.
Now you got like 50,000 inbox messages. Oh, that's how much I have.
Yeah.
A lot. I need to delete it.
50,000 not unread though.
Not,
Right? 50,000
mostly-
unread?
Mostly unread because there's a lot of junk.
Okay. Yep.
A lot of junk. And, oh my goodness. But yeah, the art of physical writing and giving out would be sweet.
Cool. What I'm thinking is we might need a quick cup of water. Are you a bit thirsty?
Yeah.
All right, let's do a magic trick.
Go.
What I'll do is hold your hand out here on the side of the table. Probably on that way. And what we'll do is we'll actually get a cup of water at the snap of a finger. You ready?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Alright.
3, 2, 1. And there you have it. Just like that.
Is this like a magic office or something?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely magical.
Can it bring out cars?
I wish. That's the only thing. There's no space for the
Oh,
cards.
no space. Make
Yeah.
it bigger.
Yeah, I will. That's why we're having you on here, because we'll get enough views, we get enough business, and they'll get enough money to get a bigger office.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, so going back to the gym as well, like tell us a bit about, for example, where is the gym? Where can people find you if they wanted to get in touch with things fitness related?
So my gym is located in Warwick Farm, so I'm a part of a franchise.
Warwick Farm. Yep.
Plus Fitness Warwick Farm.
Mm-hmm.
And if people don't know where Warwick Farm is, it's next to Liverpool.
Yep.
Just across from the racecourse.
Yep.
Yeah. But people can find me. I'm heavily online presence.
Yeah. Like if someone wanted to get in touch with either wanted to have a conversation about something, either business related or speaking related, like where could they find you personally? Best place to find you, like.
I got a website, khoanamtran.com.
Mm.
And in that website, it's got my social links: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok's cool.
How's TikTok been going?
Yeah, TikTok's good. I haven't been posting as much, but I should.
I think you would do quite well on TikTok. I feel you have a one of the most catchy personalities out there.
Yeah, I love it. It's really good to kill time.
Mm-hmm.
And LinkedIn. But yeah, if you go to khoaandtran.com, you see all my links there.
Fantastic.
Reach out to me. I'm always active on mainly Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook, perfect. But the website will have links to everything.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's right.
Perfect. That's really good. And what I want to talk about was, with being, let's say, a gym owner, we've got the idea of having, property investment being a part of your discussions as well. You're a fit person. Do you feel goal setting has had a big play in your success so far? And what are some big goals you see yourself wanting to tick off over the next 5 years from today?
Over the next 5 years in today, yes. First off, goal setting is important.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a end goal to achieve, you don't know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of directing yourself to achieve that. Where I want to see myself in 5 years, I want to see myself out of this COVID bubble and fly around and share my story.
Yep.
On a big stage, and just put a smile on hundreds of thousands of people.
Yep.
And also build my property portfolio. As you know, Dan, I've already invested in one.
Yep.
And from there on, I'll connect with JR Prosperity to grow from that. That's
Yep.
my goal, to have many streams of income.
Yep.
To set my to be more financially free. To know that I've got a revenue of income, passive income, and I don't need to worry about that next week's bill.
Yep.
I don't have to look at my bank account and worry about if I have enough to buy a Macca's meal.
Yeah, I
As
mean,
simple as
a
that.
Big Mac meal, a small Big Mac meal
They're so expensive now.
used to be $5.95. Remember?
Yeah, and
For a
it
full
used-
small Big Mac meal, and
it
now a
used to
Big
be
Mac's like
bigger
$6.
too.
That's true. Yeah.
Now it's so tiny.
Yeah.
It's like, oh hello, tiny burger.
My favorite order at McDonald's is 3 Big Macs with extra Big Mac sauce in the burgers, and 2 chicken and cheeses on steam bun.
I mean, I'm a health person, so I don't eat.
Yeah,
Macca's.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
it.
right. That's right. I mean, you want the members of your gym to be fit and healthy from their diet perspective as well, right?
Yeah, it doesn't help this KFC right in front of my gym. So,
Oh,
yeah, I know.
it's like a perfect post-workout meal.
Yeah, I know. When you open the door, you get the smell coming in.
Well, Ronnie used to enjoy a couple of Big Macs sometimes.
I do. But
And-
one.
Yeah. One an hour.
Yeah, one an hour. Full stop.
Yeah. Going back to, let's say, lifestyle the way it is now, right? So we've talked a little bit about the adversity. We've talked about, yes, obviously, goal setting and your future goal of being able to speak to people on a bigger stage. I see that as 100% happening. What about having some fun along the way? So I know that with the legs, you've actually still been able to drive and enjoy your passion of driving with cars. What are some of the most fun cars you've driven till date?
I've driven Audi R8.
The R8s, yep.
I've driven a Ferrari 488.
The 488
Yeah.
GTB, look at that.
AMG GT.
That's the nice
Yeah.
one, yep.
What else? A luxury car. A Bentley.
Yeah, the four-wheel drive?
Yeah, the
Bentayga.
Bentegas. Yeah,
Mhm.
nice cars. Even from, I think I've driven the R35.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the tests, because I was in a high performance car
Mhm.
accident. It was a
That was a high-performance car.
it was a Skyline, or not a Skyline, R35 GDR.
Wow.
I had to see if I get any flashbacks
Yeah, yeah.
if I was to jump in a similar car, and I did that, and nothing triggered. So I was like, yeah, I'm still here. I love my cars.
I love my cars. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to discriminate because I was in one and it crumbled, but
Yeah. But I think living life alcohol free and having that freedom, knowing you're always able to be on, it's something that I've done very recently. Not nowhere near as long as you have. I don't know how long you've been alcohol free for though.
for 8 years.
So pretty much the whole time.
Yep.
Fantastic. And I don't think we regret a single day.
Huh?
I don't think you would regret a single day either
No,
from
no,
all the 8 years.
no. I enjoyed being that bird's eye perspective when I go out with my friends and they're drinking,
Mm.
because you see how many silly stuff they do, and I'll just laugh. I used to be this person.
Yeah.
Now I'm the designated Dave who has to drive people home,
Yeah.
but I don't mind. I love driving.
But at least they're in safe hands,
Yeah, exactly. That's the main thing.
which is good. And a very solid leg as well.
Yeah, solid leg. I know people might freak out. Hey, why is a guy with no legs driving a car?
Mm.
That's the funny thing about saying no legs. What does my number plate say?
That's it. That's the trick. So I think we might even put a snippet for people to see of what your number plate looks like, just so that they can make the understanding known that if they do see the number plate zipping around town, they'll know that's Khoa straight away.
Yeah, 100%.
So that'll be pretty cool. And in terms of the next chapter of what you're seeing yourself achieve now, is you've got a situation where we've got all these things in place, like the speaking engagements. We're talking a bit about the book. With the book as well, what's some interesting feedback you've gotten on the book so far from people around you saying, oh, I didn't know this about you, or I didn't know your personality had this, or your backstory was either this tough or this easy. What was something interesting you found from the book's perspective?
What I found people saying is it's the emotional roller coaster that I bring them through
Mm-hmm.
when they were reading it, because that was my whole objective, to have it the highs to the lows, but always end up with the high.
Yep.
High being positive, low being in that tragic moment.
Mm-hmm.
But people could see that when they're reading it, they know that's me.
Mm.
So if you were to read my book, we had that conversation through branch now, then you go, wait, that is Khoa.
Mm.
And you could mentally picture it in your head, with my voice probably in your head talking.
Yeah. Well, that's how we have to. Not the Ronnie Coleman one, no. It will be your one.
It'll be my voice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It transpires into the book.
Fantastic. That's awesome. And I think with even the period that was blanked out, the 3 weeks where it got a little tough to have any jogging memory there. I think you were doing an engagement once, and someone had from I think the scene, or someone from the night, you had ended up encountering with them. I think it might have been an Officer Sean or something.
Yes, that is correct. So he reached out to me on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
He found me.
Yep.
And this was going towards 8 years. 8 years since the accident.
Yeah.
And I finally met up with him. He came to my gym, and I had a roller coaster of emotions. I hugged him. This was during COVID too,
So that's even more emotional.
Yeah, more emotional. Yeah. And he helped paint my canvas, a bit of my canvas, my blank canvas, as to why it happened. Originally, I thought throughout those 7 years, I thought I was behind the the driver's side.
Mm.
I assumed that because the front passenger, she died.
Yep.
And there was no way I could be on that side. I would have been dead.
Yep.
That was far from the truth, because what Sean told me opened my eyes.
Mm.
He got there, and I was behind the passenger side.
Yep.
The roof was squashed down. There's no room for the back passenger to survive like that. What made me survive was my head sticking out of the back window.
My goodness.
My head was sticking outside of the window, the quarter window, and the roof was collapsed. And I was screaming in pain. Get me out of here.
Mm.
Get me out of here. I don't remember that, but he helped me paint that picture, which I'm forever grateful for. Him and the crew, the fire emergency crews, whoever was there that day.
Yeah,
That's something I could never forget.
of course. He must have been so proud to see what you were up to all these years and how you would have coped, because it would have been the first time that he would have reached out in all these years.
Yes.
And he would have been so happy to see you and maybe surprise you at the gym.
And he the only reason he found out about me was when I appeared on the TV show Taboo.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So that's when they put two and two together and realised that was the person they saved.
Wow.
And I guess they were very, very happy to see where I am today.
Of course.
Yeah.
And like you said in the beginning, right, everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And for him to reach out at that pivotal moment and to help fill that canvas ever so slightly. I don't need to fill it all up. I don't need to remember why it happened.
Mm.
But to know that I'm alive because of them, I'm forever thankful for.
Fantastic. And I think that goes back to your philosophy, right? Being grateful is a value that you share. Being thankful, knowing that the future is always brighter than right now. We're in control of our destiny. And speaking of philosophies, you've been doing something interesting with a special, I think, 9th Dan Master recently. But I don't know if you're okay to share this aspect of your life as well, because I find it extremely exciting, because this is more prosperity point than anything, which is the mental side of things and general awareness. So how's the spiritual enlightenment process going for you as well?
Yes, that's amazing, because the 9th Dan Master, my mentor.
Oh, so I did get it right. I didn't muck it up,
no,
right?
No, that's correct. In karate, 9th Dan Master in karate.
Yep.
So it's one of the highly coveted awards that any karate master can receive. His name is Hanshi Dino Naidu.
Mm-hmm. Hanshi itself is pretty high up. So
is a refer. I'm very vague in it, but it's like master. Basically.
Yeah, because I think 9th Dan is the ultimate in karate, isn't it?
There's 10th Dan.
There is? Okay.
Yep, and the 10th Dan in Australia is Tino Sobrano, which is he's known as the karate father of Australia, and he's Kate Sobrano's father.
Wow. Okay.
So the singer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he awarded Hanshi the 9th Dan.
Wow.
Yeah, and so Hanshi does spirit mind awareness, which I'm involved in. It's about meditation, lifting your higher consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
We have 7 levels of consciousness. We start from the conscious to the subconscious,
Mm-hmm.
and so forth, higher levels, super consciousness, and it all leads to the divine.
Mm-hmm.
We all seek that divine truth, and divine is love.
Mm.
So I'm on that journey to help me ground myself, to slow things down. We live in a busy world.
Yep.
And it's time to, sometimes it's good to step back and listen to yourself. And with meditation, to lift your conscious, to slow down
Mm-hmm.
your surroundings and focus on yourself. And I believe that that's helping me propel for future goals,
Mm-hmm.
future life settings, just to be grateful for everything. I'm very mindful, I'm very aware of living organisms around.
More so after you started spirit mind awareness,
Yes.
spiritual mind awareness?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I'm at the backyard,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at little ants
Yep.
feeding. While I'm cleaning the fish tank, and there's little worms that come out of the filter.
Mm-hmm.
They're good for the biological filtration.
Yep.
But I need to clean the filter, and when those little tiny worms that you might squirm at,
Mm-hmm.
they're just stuck there on the concrete. But you see the ants just go and grab them. That's
Yep.
their food.
Yep.
And I'm just in awe just to see they're working as a team together to evolve this world.
Yeah. Like the circle of life
Yeah,
thing
the
as well,
circle of
right?
life, exactly. That's exactly right, the circle of life. And this last week, I
Mhm.
took a picture of 4 small ants eating a bull ant.
Really?
Yes, it's an amazing sight in the sense that it's like the David and Goliath battle.
Yep.
Small versus the big, or a group versus one.
Yeah. Well, like 4 Davids and Goliath.
Yeah, exactly. Taking down, and it resonates with like taking down the big corporations if something happens with a lot of people who can take a corporation. I was watching that movie that I mentioned.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, Dark Waters.
Yep.
That was exactly like that.
We talked about the other movie as well. It's Dark Waters, and we're talking about
Yes, the other one.
one of the film crew, the church scandal
Yep.
with Michael
Spotlight.
Keaton. Spotlight. Yeah. So Spotlight and Dark Waters. Yeah. So Dark
Yeah.
Waters. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly the same analogy.
Fantastic. There's so many analogies going on in this podcast. You've got that. You've got the koi fish expanding its awareness, getting into the bigger and better version of itself. Groups taking down the big giant. I think it's good stuff. And what did you feel resonated as a microcosm from seeing those 4 ants try and tackle the bullet? Did you get to see the outcome? Who ended up actually winning? Did they pull him apart?
Yeah, they pulled him apart.
Oh wow! Okay.
So they pulled his little
Antlers?
Pincer.
Pincer. Yeah.
They pulled it apart. So
Oh.
they were eating him.
Well, there you go.
They were eating him. But by doing spirit mind awareness, I'm more grateful for every living creature, every living thing. So if there's a cockroach, I try not to squash the cockroach. I try move along now. A spider. I see a spider. I won't use a spray can. I'll just look at it. Oh, you're just doing your thing. It's alright. You're not hurting. You're doing.
Unless it's in the gym, because then you're going to kill it to keep the
Yeah.
members safe. Or you'll organise someone to look after it and take it outside.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best thing to do.
So I'm more aware of that, and
Great.
that's the great thing about diving into spirit mind awareness. Every life has a purpose.
Yeah.
We're all energy.
Mm.
If we look deep into ourselves, every single thing around is energy.
I'd read something really interesting that I don't know if you know Rhonda Byrne's books. The Secret, and then where you've got the power of being grateful. Gratitude brings about more success, and then there's another book called The Greatest Secret, and apparently it's just that you are not your body, you are not your brain, you are not the physical. You are just awareness. That's what you actually are. And when I saw something like that, it just clicked going that, yeah, it does sort of make sense that all we are is awareness. So why not be more aware?
Mm-hmm.
And then hence be more understanding. It follows on from what you're saying right now.
Yeah, it's amazing. Once you expand your mind,
Mm-hmm.
you appreciate everything more. We're all on this fragile earth to help each other.
Hmm.
Although we're in flux with all the bad, but positivity is a powerful thing.
Yep.
And that's where I believe I could influence that to change one person's life. If you change that one person's life, that is the whole world to them.
That's the whole world to them.
That's the whole
Exactly.
world
Yeah.
to them.
That's why perspective is important
Yep.
as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you never know whose life they're changing in the process as well.
100%. It's like the domino effect. You knock one domino or...
Yeah. Or it's like I don't know. There's this one story about a farmer taking 2 buckets on his shoulder, and I don't think he was able to have it go all the way up the mountain. So every time he'd reach up the mountain, half the buckets used to be empty. So he had to make too many trips going up and down with the buckets each side. But then he realized because so much water was leaking out over the years, he realized that he was watering the garden along the mountain the whole time. So yes, all those extra trips gave extra water to the garden, and there were beautiful flowers along that journey. So from every hardship, you never know who's being impacted in a positive way as well.
That's a perfect analogy
Yeah?
of
Thank you, I'm so proud
giving.
of that.
Yeah, of giving.
Yeah.
Inadvertently giving.
Inadvertently giving, yes.
Because he thought it was a negative thing, but in return it was something a beauty in disguise.
Mm.
Life grew.
Yep. Which is awesome. And I thank you once again so much, Khoa, for your time jumping on Prosperity Point. I'm looking forward to having you on here again so that I can just get to say that, yep, before TEDx, before all this was all done, I got Khoa in the beginning, and I got him after the international stage as well, once the borders are open.
But next time you might have to speak to my managers and all that.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I'll give you my personal number.
Yeah, I need the personal number. That way I can say, hey, I got this chocolate still, it's still here. But
sorry, Sean, I'm too busy filming my next 5th movie.
you're filming.
But I'll make time for you.
You're probably filming like Terminator 25 by then.
Yeah, 100%.
So Terminator 25 with some of these bad boys.
Yeah,
So
I'll be upgraded by then too.
yeah, we'll be upgraded. But being honest, from the bottom of my heart, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on here, and I thank you so much for your time. I hope everyone watching out there, you guys can take some hidden gems away in your own version of Prosperity Point, whatever that is. But thank you for staying tuned as well. Really appreciate it, and we'll look forward to having you back again soon.
Yeah, great to be a part of it.
Awesome. Let's do it! And then it's time for our leg bump. Oh my goodness, this one's a strong one. Yo! This is so cool. This one's the heavy hitter.
Yeah, the heavy hitter.
If someone looks at you funny across the street, you can literally fling this and they will die.
They will die, but then before they die, they have to give me back my leg.
That's right. Or maybe you have to, yeah, oh yeah, true. It'll be hard to hop
I have
around.
to say, hey, before you pass away, pass my leg back.
Yes, exactly. But you've got one that's like the proper shotgun, and this one's more like the
Yeah.
pistol. It's like a little pistol here.
Funny thing, I use that as a
Pew, pew,
croquet
pew.
stick.
Croquet stick.
Yeah, if you watch Taboo,
Mm-hmm.
this leg was used as a croquet stick to hit the ball.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that is awesome. And with shoes, obviously I think they're both the same size as well, which is cool. Do you still enjoy picking up a decent collection of sneaker kicks?
No, not really, because I don't really change any shoes. I have a couple shoes, but I don't really go shopping for shoes.
Maybe we've got to gift you some driving shoes because you love driving.
Ooh,
So if you gift you driving ones that fit with the legs as well, that'll be fun.
I might be running faster too.
Who knows? I don't know. Software upgrade will always help with that though.
Yeah.
It'll be good. But yeah, thanks so much once again, and we're all good to wrap up. Let's finally eat our chocolate.
Oh yeah.
Yum.